Right guys, today's a big day. Today is the day that most mountain bikers enjoy the most, and that is new bike day. I have a new bike. It is not the Deviate Highlander. That should be with me in 2 or 3 weeks. Today is all about e-bikes. So if you don't like e-bikes, don't watch the video. Just go away. For those of you that do like e-bikes, this video is all about e-bikes. And I'm going to start by showing you my old e-bike, which will be getting sold tomorrow. And I'm going to explain the reason why I want to replace it, basically. So let's start with a Levo. Okay, so this is my Specialized Turbo Levo Expert 2017 alloy. It's a 2017 bike based on a 2015 design. It only came in alloy. 2018 they brought in the carbon, and they've done a lot with the bike. It's as far as e-bikes go, it's one of the most important e-bikes ever made. So we'll start off with the good things. The good things are basically the battery motor software combination. So Specialized battery, I think. It's a 504 watt-hour battery, which was fairly big for the time. And then it's a Brose motor with Specialized software. Now the motor is excellent. It has 90 Newton meters of torque, which is still one of the more powerful motors. It is very, very natural, very intuitive, very tunable, and the app that goes with this motor on your phone, you can change a lot of parameters and make it just how you want, which is fantastic because not everybody, believe it or not, wants turbo all the time. So without being funny, that's just about all the good points. Now everything I'm going to say bad about this bike from now on is solely because I essentially bought the wrong bike. This was on deal, a significantly reduced price, so I ended up getting this, when I should have, for my intended purpose, bought a Kenevo, which is their more full-on, longer travelled enduro e-bike. And subsequently, I've changed almost everything to try and make it the bike that I should have bought in the first place. And it probably would have been cheaper to just buy the Kenevo in the first place. So the main problem with this bike, and ultimately the reason why I am selling it, is the geometry. So yeah, the rear chainstay length is 457mm, but the reach at the front is only 432. So there is a very much a mismatch. The rear end on this thing is longer than the front end, and whilst that is excellent for climbing, it is not good for descending. It's fine for trail riding, like for its intended purpose, it's great. But I am trying to do more enduro trails and natural and awkward trails, and that imbalance really, I can ride it, but it's not ideal. Most of the stuff has been changed in this, and that's just because the geometry isn't quite good enough. So it's been a fantastic bike, it's got me into e-bikes, I am well and truly hooked, but it's got to go. Did I even get out the shot? Okay, this is quite clearly the next day. The midges got way too bad and I just cancelled filming last night. If you are not from Scotland, Google midges, and whatever it says about them, they're 100 times worse. But anyway, you will see behind me, I have my new bike. Let's take a look at it. So this is the Pivot Shuttle. It is a 2020 model, and it is the lower end model. I can't remember the name. I say lower end, but it's still very expensive. Just for clarity, I did pay for it, but I didn't pay full retail. So I'm hoping that this bike will pick up and be better than the Levo, where the Levo had its downfalls, i.e. geometry. So this thing has a normal reach of 460mm in the large size, which is what I went for, and the rear end they have managed to squeeze to make it, I think it's 436mm, which is incredibly short. You can see they've went to great efforts to make sure that they got the chainstay as short as possible. And for most of those reasons, and the fact that it's very light, sub 20 kilos, and all the weight is much lower and further back, that's the reason why I went for this. I'm just going to jump on the bike now. I'm going to go for a cycle. I'm going to learn the bike. I'm going to try and express my thoughts audibly with words, and let you know what I think of it as we go. So this is part bedding in, part getting used to the bike, and we're going to head up my local woods to trails that I already know, so I can compare it directly to my Levo, which I rode on these very trails only a couple of days ago. So right from the word go, it's a very different bike to the Levo. The power button is down in here. Switch that on. This is actually an external battery mounted internally, purely because the external Shimano battery is lighter than the internal one. So Pivot made sure they got that battery to go inside, and you do have to unbolt it to get it out, which is fine because the port's actually here for charging. But what that means is they keep all the weight down, and that is why this bike is actually sub 20 kilos. Maybe not this one in particular, but the higher end one, the next one up, is sub 20 kilos, which for a very long time was the lightest e-bike you could get. Jumping on, we then see that we've got a display, and I've never had a display or even remote buttons, because I've only ever had just the Levo, which had the battery and the buttons on the side, and that was it, which I liked. We'll see how we go on with this. We can quickly see that we've got the battery indicator, we've got the mode, which is off just now, so we just knock it up on the left, on from off to eco to trail to boost. Nice and simple, so should be quite intuitive and quick to go between modes as the terrain changes and the demands are different. Display is small. I was thinking I was going to get rid of these, but actually it's fairly small and not too in your face, but it's big enough to read the display. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We'll start off and off actually, because that is probably the best thing about this bike. So simply cycling around this car park with the power completely off, it feels very much like a regular bike, which is actually golden. So now if I'm doing any kind of big miles and it's just level road or even forest road, I know I can basically not use any power, which in theory will increase my theoretical range for a day out by a long way. So that's good point number one. Quick click on the left, I went into eco, and this motor is actually less powerful than the Levo, which has 90 Newton meters as I mentioned before. This one has 70, but I always felt the Levo was almost too powerful. So a few more observations have been made on this climb. The noise from the motor, well, it makes a noise. It's not an unpleasant noise, but when the Levo made no noise at all, I would class this as a negative. Okay. Wow. Wow. Instantly better than the Levo. Instantly. Okay, down Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. Oh dear. We best be moving that rock. Jesus. That can't be safe. The whole hill is a bit slippier than what it has been in the last few weeks. Oh, wow. This bike is so noticeably lighter. Like, lighter in feel, more manoeuvrable, more agile, more playful. Oh, incredible. I'm just going to switch the power off. Don't think I need it for the down. Yeah, my body's not recalibrated yet, but
My goodness, that is some difference in feel. Like, I cannot emphasize. Wow. Yeah, I'm not riding very well yet. Not got the feel for it, but I can just feel it is so much lighter. Oh, that makes me very happy. Night and day. Not even comparable for descending. Not even comparable. Jesus. A good test for motor modulation is a wheelie. How intuitive it is. And this is good. My wheelie's not great, but the motor is not the deciding factor in that. It's my lack of skill. Right, there should be no rock on the other side of this wall now. Right, I'm getting a feel for how the bike behaves. Yeah, that's it. Much better second time round. Oh. You notice the lack of weight going over that drop anyway. Usually the Levo wants to put itself into a nosedive. Oh, yeah, fuck it. Well, okay, dial it back. I'm going to drop the stem and bars down. I am very used to running an unusually low stack height. I'll drop it down one. Try and do it incrementally. It's probably not even the fucking problem. I'm probably just riding terrible. Let's try that again. Yeah, feeling a bit more comfortable with the stack height lower, as in handlebars lower down. A bit more familiar. Maybe wider bars again. I'm very used to wide bars. I have very long arms and fairly wide shoulders, so I do like the wide bars. I think I'm one of the people that does actually warrant an 800mm wide bar. Yeah, feeling more confident again. Let's see if I can make these ruts. That was the one that got me last time. There we go. Yeah, best one yet. Okay, so we've done a bit of fire road climbing. We've done trail descending, but we haven't done trail climbing. Let's do that now. Let's see if we can get up this bit. Always more awkward in the wet. Oh, just about. Yeah. Oh, very nice. The bigger wheels are going to come in handy for bits like this. Although a bridge would be better. I'll need to get that done. Yeah, the base level of support on the Shimano just seems to have a little more torque, like grunt. So if it's like more like a diesel, if it was a car, than it is a kind of peaky petrol. I'm liking that. It's much better for the more technical bits. Right, okay, this is the longest run on the hill. So this is Sidewinder onto Mini DH. Mini DH, and the very bottom of this Sidewinder trail you'll see some of the work that I've been putting in, and some of the other boys have been putting in during this lockdown. But this is the longest run. It's probably the run I know the best, so I'll try not to get too carried away with this thing and just let the bike come to me, and hopefully it'll all just gel together. Let's go. Right, I'm going to switch the power off. There we go. The problem I've got is last time I rode this, it's bone dry and grippy as hell. And now it's seen a touch of moisture, which I haven't seen for about 8 weeks. So there's partly that to it. Oh, try and get the power down. Yeah, I think the whole hill's just got slippier and I've not really factored that in. Nice. It's so much lighter feeling. Oh yeah, it took that corner well. That 180 cutback. She flies well. Yeah. Oh. I never mentioned the rear suspension in this. It's done by Dave Weagle, same guy that designed the kinematics on my Evil the Colin I used to have. Big fan of that. Right, new part. Oh, rebuilt that berm, redone that, redone all this. Wow. Oh, this one in the wet. Oh, Jesus. Back end cut a route. Yeah, she's just slippy. I don't think it's a fair chance for me to learn this bike. Right, this is Mini DH, and this one's been completely redone. This berm is brand new. So much better than it used to be. This berm now cuts back up the hill where it used to just go straight, adds a bit more. This jump has been beefed up. This berm's been beefed up. This jump's slightly bigger. This one's more pronounced. Oh, this chicane's been completely redone. And this is a new jump that I'm not going to hit. And then there's a bit further down there. We'll cut back this way and do the old school bit. Yeah, I think half my battle today is I'm riding trails that are now wet, that I've only been riding in the dry for the last 8 weeks. That's my problem. That's all it is. So I think I'm going to leave the video there. I will probably ride a bit more today, try and get used to the bike a bit more, but I'm not riding fantastically well. I think I need to make a few changes on the bike before I then make another video. But the fundamentals, the foundations of the bike are fantastic. That being the geometry, the frame, the motor and the battery, and how it all comes together. Those things are golden. Suspension seems to be really good. It is the performance elite version of Fox's stuff, but not really any complaints at the moment. In fact, I haven't really touched the dials at all. So I've got a good baseline to work on, but one thing I do need to work on is putting a wider bar on and lowering it down. I do think that that's going to make me ride this bike a lot better. So next video, I'll have the new bars on it. I've maybe done a couple of runs off camera, and then we'll show you the 3 new trails that have been made on the hill.